Okay, so asking for the business. This is one of those topics that comes a lot of times from sales managers, sales trainers, people that I want to be careful. I don't want to be disparaging, but they come at sales from an angle that it's hard charging, it's driving. You got to ask for the business, and there is an element, without question. There's an element where oftentimes, and I've been there, people can be way too timid, not confident, string a relationship out as they're getting to know people, and never actually convert a conversation to something regarding the business, and actually letting the person know in the context of this conversation, like, I want your business. I want a relationship with you for sure, but I want your business. So for this video, let me just say, absolutely, there is a time for that, and sometimes people need to ask for the business. However, I think, in my experience, it's the opposite side of that problem that tends to raise its head more often. And what I mean by that is, loan officer takes a real estate agent out to lunch, okay, and or coffee or whatever, right? And they have this discussion. It's a 30-minute discussion, and instead of the loan officer trying to get to know the agent, they jump right to business. And the loan officer is articulating, their programs and their pricing, and our service is so great, and I've been doing this for 20 years. And who cares? I mean, if the real estate agent is good at all, they should be saying, who cares? That's a waste of time. I can't believe I actually agreed to go out to lunch with this person. Because the originator's too quick to jump into business. And then worse, when the originator gets back to the office, right? They don't follow up, and then 2 days go by, 3 days go by, and they begin to share with their peers in the office. Yeah, I took so-and-so to lunch, haven't heard nothing back. I paid for this meal, nothing back, haven't heard. And then even internally in their brain, I know this, they're thinking, gosh, like, I went out of my way, I went out of my comfort zone, and I get nothing. Not one deal, not one referral, not one transaction, not one phone call. She didn't even email me back or whatever. And man, that is a significant problem. And that issue is not an issue of not asking for the business. That was going, it was unrealistic expectations, coupled with going into a conversation about business when you haven't even got to know the person yet. You don't even know them. You don't even know this person yet. And so with that, I wanted to illustrate with a story. And maybe I should have told this up front, but it's a great story. I share it pretty often, and it's about one of my favorite people. Her name is Kelli Cowell. And Kelli, you're probably watching today or listening, so how are you doing? And your husband, Cobby, how you doing, Cobby? What's up? But I want to tell this quick story about Kelli because it does a good job of making this point. Kelli was a MI rep. She's still in the MI business with Essent, but she was an MI rep at a different company at the time. And this was probably 10 plus years ago. I was in the wholesale side of the mortgage business, and I didn't know Kelli. I'd never met her before. She and her company, at least she was kind of new to town, new to Boise, Idaho. And so she stopped by my office, and we had a quick, short conversation, and I can tell you, because this is how I was back then, especially with MI people, I probably wouldn't have given her more than 2 or 3 minutes of time, because I was busy, and we already had MI partners in place. I had relationships with other MI reps, and so the way I looked at it is the way I would imagine. I know a lot of real estate agents look at conversations with loan officers, and that is this: like, if Kelli is really good, and she's somebody that I should want to do business with, she's gonna help me, she's gonna help my team, she's gonna help our company. Like, she's gonna demonstrate that to me, and so I'm gonna give her an opportunity to demonstrate who she is by making this harder then I have to, right? So I'm gonna be quick, to the point, have her come in and out, and then let's see. She comes in, by the way, after that first meeting, she does follow up. I don't know, it's a few weeks later or something, she books another flight, comes to town, asks to meet with me again. And this process goes over and over again for a number of months. Now, you have to understand too, at this point, in the wholesale business that I was in, we were closing 900 loans a month, 1,200 loans a month, 1,500 loans a month. There's a lot of business. And like Kelli knew, if she gets in with us, gets in with my team, our team, it could be very, very profitable for her. And so, but Kelli doesn't jump right to business. She's smart. She doesn't come in and talking about her programs, how she's different, value propositions, business. No. She's trying to get to know me. She's trying to get to know people on my team. And she's figuring out ways to help and to serve and to give value. And she's just there. And so after a few months go by and she continues to come by the office, she continues to follow up, she continues to add value. Well, then I begin to get to know her a little bit. And like, I really like Kelli. And all of a sudden, when the conversation begins, I kind of allow it to move towards business. She's right there. She's ready to go. She knows all her programs. She knows her distinctives, and she's ready. And she's ready to capture a lot of business, and she did. And God bless her. Like, I love Kelli, and I enjoy sharing that story with people because, again, I think it makes the point that it can't just be about asking for the business. You got to know who it is that you're talking to first. What are their needs? What are their problems? What are their struggles? How can you serve them today? What do they have going on in their life today that maybe you can speak into? If you lead with business, while that may work with 10% of the population, it doesn't work with the masses, and it isn't going to work long-term for you. So think about this today. If you are an originator, you've taken a real estate agent or other referral partner out, and you're just at that very beginning part of the relationship, what are your expectations now? Are they realistic, or do they need to reset a little bit? Are you a little bit negative that they haven't called you, that they haven't referred you a deal? Come on, instead, ask yourself, what can I do for that person today? How can I serve them? How can I demonstrate to this referral partner how I work without having to talk about how I work, right? I can give value. I can be helpful. I can serve. That shows them how I work, and I don't have to tell them how I work. If you're a real estate agent and maybe there's a group that you've been trying to break into relationally, that if they began to refer you business, this would be a game changer for you. And but what's your follow-up been like? How have you been pursuing them? Have you been trying different methods, different touches with them? Follow up with a text, follow up with an email, follow up with a handwritten note, follow up with a letter and a handwritten note, follow up with a letter that is an article about home values in this particular neighborhood or whatever. Inviting them back out to coffee, the decision maker or other people that are a part of that team. It takes follow up, and it takes follow up in a relational context. You do that, and man, the world begins to open up to you with regards to people wanting to do business with you. We never want to talk about how good we are, how great our service is. No. In follow up, in relationships, we demonstrate how we work by our follow-up. We show them how we work by our follow-up. And so I'll tell you what, that's something you can use today. I promise you, if you look back at your calendar over the last month, you'll probably find 2 or 3 people that you connected with, maybe in the grocery store, maybe it was at a home show or an open house or something like that, and you had a good initial connection with someone, and then you dropped it, you let it go. Man, you got to be persistent and you've got to follow up. And it's not just asking for the business, like you got to get to know the person. So take that to heart. I hope that helps you today, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.